Alright, we're doing the wheel spin like we did last year. We're gonna, if you remember, the first one spun gets the last pick in the draft. And the last one to get spun will get the number one overall draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how this goes. Getting the 16th pick in the fantasy football draft is Andy.
Okay.
Yeah. The 15th overall fantasy draft pick is Levon.
How do you spell that?
Levon.
Okay.
14th overall fantasy draft pick will be Scott.
Scott Bevan.
Yep. The 13th overall draft pick for fantasy football will be Lenny.
Ooh.
The 12th overall draft pick for fantasy football will be Joshua.
Bevan.
Yep. The 11th overall draft pick for fantasy football will be Brett.
Brett.
The 10th overall draft pick in fantasy football will be Adrian. The 9th overall draft pick for the fantasy football will be Andrew.
What's his last name?
Fritz.
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 Only being confused with your dad.
Actually, I think that is my dad, actually. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Molly, now you wait.
The 8th overall draft pick for the fantasy football draft will be Katie.
Katie. Katy.
CATIE. Yep. And the 7th overall fantasy football draft pick will go to Garrett.
What do you say, Derek or
Garrett.
Garrick with a G?
Yeah, GARRETT. No, JARRETT. Yep. This is what, the 6th overall?
Yes.
The 6th overall draft pick for fantasy football will be Dakota. And it's with a K. DAKOTA. This is what, the 5th overall?
Yes.
Okay. So, 5th overall draft pick for the fantasy football will be Gage. Okay. 4 left. Who will get the number 1 draft? It comes down to Jerry, Gavin, Thomas, and Calvin. Here we go. 4th overall pick in the fantasy football draft will go to Jerry. Yeah. The 3rd overall fantasy football draft pick will go to Calvin.
With a C.
Yep, C. Yep. Okay, we got 2 left. We got Gavin and Thomas.
Who's gonna get the number 1 pick?
Who's going to get the 2nd overall pick and the 1st overall pick? In 3, 2, 1. The number 1 overall fantasy football draft pick will be alright. The one who gets the 2nd overall draft pick is Gavin.
Gavin. How you spell that name?
Gavin.
Okay.
And that leaves Neighbor Thomas. Thomas. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Tom got the number 1 pick, huh?
Yeah, Tom, you got the number 1 pick. Congratulations.